Northeast Live editor-in-chief Wasbir Hussain give his perspective on this big development. Let's listen into that again. Wasbir, well, this is indeed a big development. The NSC and IM and NNPGs coming together to achieve what they have been working together for decades.
Absolutely, Aaron. This is indeed a very, very historic development, I would say, as far as the Naga peace process is concerned. The fact that the NSC and IM and the NNPGs have met face-to-face, they sat together and met face-to-face is itself a big development. Of course, this has been facilitated by the Forum for Naga Reconciliation that has been working for quite some time now to bring the two sides together and facilitate the peace process so that the Naga peace process reaches its logical conclusion, that of an agreement. Now, this is indeed significant because it comes just days after the core committee on the Naga peace talks met NEDA convener and Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma in Guwahati, and before leaving for New Delhi to meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah. In fact, the core committee on the Naga peace talks has already met the facilitator, the peace envoy, A.K. Mishra in New Delhi. And they have been camping in New Delhi for quite some time. Now, in this backdrop, the meeting of the two sides, that is the NSC and IM and the NNPGs coming together, this is indeed very, very big. And what they have stated in this crisp and short but crisp statement signed by V.S. Atam of the NSC and IM and Mr. A. Venue of the NNPGs is quite significant. They said that they have decided to bury the hatchet. They have decided not to engage in any kind of armed conflict or war of words through the print and electronic media. And they said they're going to move forward in a spirit of love in accordance with the covenant of reconciliation signed by several of its departed leaders, including Mr. S.S. Kaplan of the NSC and K and Mr. Isaac C.C. Chu, the chairman of the NSC and IM. So this is indeed significant because they have pledged themselves, both sides who are at loggerheads. They have been engaging in a war of words for quite some time now. They were not seeing eye to eye. In fact, the several organizations have tried to bring the two sides to sit together and resolve the differences. That was not happening. The core committee was also trying. That was not happening. But this time around, the fact that the Forum for Naga Reconciliation has been able to organize this meeting of the two sides is significant. This is also, Aaron, raised questions whether the Naga peace agreement is in the offing now, whether the differences have been sorted out. It seems so, because the center was also trying its best to resolve the differences that had arisen after the NSC and IM had said categorically that there will be no solution unless the government of India concedes its core demand of a separate flag and constitution for the Nagas. So that was the sticky point. That was the main stumbling block, and that was holding up the Naga Naga peace agreement. Of course, the NNPGs had said time and again in the past that they were done with the negotiations and that they were ready to sign on the dotted lines, and whatever differences remain could be sorted out later. So that was the stand. That is still the stand of the NNPG. Is very, very clear-cut there. And as far as the NSC and IM is concerned, we are now beginning to speculate as to whether an agreement has been reached or whether a midpoint has been reached between the NSC and IM and the government of India. The chances are bright, and perhaps that is the reason why the two sides have decided to meet face-to-face together, bury their differences, and agree on a limited point of not engaging in armed conflict, not engaging in a war of words, and moving forward in a spirit of love, as they said in the statement. So this is one of the biggest developments as far as the Naga peace talks are concerned ever since the framework agreement of August 2015. After that, I would regard this as one of the biggest developments in the Naga peace talks. The NSC and IM and NNPGs coming together, burying their hatchet and pledging to move forward in a spirit of love, as they said. Aaron.
Exactly, Wasbir. And can things, start rolling again for the Naga talks with this development? And can we really expect a solution anytime soon?
Absolutely, because the political class in Nagaland, as well as the civil society, as well as a large chunk of the common people, they wanted a solution. They want that a solution must be arrived at before the coming elections. In fact, during the last elections, no solution, no election was the campaign. But that never happened. Elections took place, and we have a government there. Now, this time around, the political class as well as the civil society in the Nagaland, they want that a solution has to come before the impending elections, before the forthcoming elections. So there is a sense of urgency as far as the people in the cross-section of society in Nagaland is concerned. And the government of India also is absolutely keen that they have reached a now or never kind of a situation, because the NNPGs on their part has already done with the negotiations. They're ready to accept an agreement. They're ready to sign on the dotted line. The NSC and IM has also sorted out a lot of differences, but the only stumbling block was the demand for a separate flag and constitution for the Nagas. Now, the core committee meeting Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, NEDA convener in Guwahati the other day, earlier this month, and then flying to New Delhi to meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and having already met in New Delhi, the interlocutor for the Naga peace talks, A.K. Mishra, suggests that things are moving at a brisk pace, because everyone wants the protracted issue, Naga peace issue, to end in an acceptable and honorable solution. I think the two sides are moving exactly towards that. And first of all, but everyone knows that there has to be only one Naga accord. There cannot be an accord with the NSC and IM. There cannot be another accord with the NNPGs. That is not going to solve matters. That is not going to bring about lasting peace. Therefore, if everyone agrees that there has to be one agreement, first there has to be an understanding between the two main stakeholders, that is the NSC and IM and the NNPGs. And that is what seems to have already happened, and that is what indications we're getting after this meeting today. And this meeting, incidentally, took place in Dimapur.
Our editor-in-chief there was Wasbir Hussain. Thank you so much for your inputs.